60 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
This is our inspection process where we get to the top of the ladder, and we're going to grade the shingles on the quality and the life expectancy on them. So at this time, the technician is going to be getting a camera out to photograph layers and then whether the shingle is in fact a 25 or 30 year composition shingle. Once accessing the roof, technician is going to go to the very top of the roof and they're going to test the pitch gauge just to find out what the predominant pitch is for the roof and the slope. After that, the technician is going to do overviews of the layout of the roof, panning counterclockwise to assess any areas that might need to be recalled later. Next, the technician is actually going to chalk the box fence. On this box fence, it looks like the technician is checking for collateral damage from the peril of hail. Technician is going to be looking for impressions to see if there's any size to determine the size of the stone and the density of the stone. Technician is now laying out a test square. It's going to be a 10 by 10 square to test the area of the rear elevation for functional to non-functional damage. Technician is going to be evaluating whether there are spot defects, granule bonding defects, blistering, hail fractures, wind creased shingles, or missing shingles. This process can also be checking for lightning strikes, water intrusion, rodent damage, and any other weathering anomalies that occur during the aging process of the roof. Upon completion of one elevation, the technician is going to move to another elevation. This process is to determine the directional side of the storm and it's to evaluate any other areas of the roof that might be damaged. If the area is too small, the technician will then go to a 5 by 10 or a 5 by 5 to evaluate that size area. So if it is a 5 by 5, the technician will draw out basically a 50 square foot square to evaluate the damage for the entire slope. During this process, the technician is always going to check for the valleys to see what kind of valleys they are, whether they're closed cut, open, or woven valleys. They're also going to see if there's any problems where the valleys are not sealed down or they're not tied in up high enough. The technician is always going to check all four slopes or directional elevations, whether it be north, south, east, west, or front, back, rear, left. The technician can also scope by the eagle view or pictometry diagram that is available at the time of the inspection. When the technician receives the eagle view by the scope and the layout of the roof, the technician can diagram each facet to determine damage. These markings indicate that the technician is only finding blistering to the roof, and this roof is probably about a 5 to 10 year old roof. So the aging process is really not taking effect. The only time the technician might find spot defects are from manufacturing imperfections, where the shingle has been dropped, the shingle has been hit, damage is going down the assembly line. It appears the technician is not finding any coverage perils on this roof. After the roof is labeled, the technician is going to go back over it, going each elevation, front, right, rear, and left, to get proper documentation for the adjuster. Depending on the adjuster's preferences, the technician may take anywhere from 3 to 5 photos per elevation. If no damages are found, however, there is a leak inside the home, the adjuster communicates with the technician to try to find and pinpoint the leak. After the technician has completed the entire process, the technician will finally evaluate to see if there is any other collateral damage to gutters or any other fascia, soft metals to the property. This is shown by walking around and documenting each accessory and looking to see if there are any other problems. Technician is taking photographs of the neoprene covers on the pipe boots to see if there's any cracking from deterioration. After completion, technician will return to the ground to talk to the adjuster and document any damages or non-damages that have been found.